Hi everybody, it's Uncle Jude here again. Welcome to my joint. It's been a very emotional few days for South Africans and the world at large. We've lost two great souls, and both of their tragedies are close to us. And I just want to share my thought pattern and my interpretation of all of this and how I see it, and maybe a small solution as to how we can progress in changing these things. I'm actually sitting at the Blom spot in Reiger Park and getting my car washed. The Blom spot, for those of you that don't understand what a Blom spot is, it's a chill spot. You got your section and your joint in your area. This is where I come and get my car washed. It's very affordable, and they do a very professional job, and I'll recommend it to anybody out there that is spending a fortune on getting your car cleaned. Come to the Blom spot. Chadwick Boseman. Wow, Chadwick Boseman. What a great loss. We've lost a king. We've lost a individual that has brought to us comic and the life of a superhero in a form that we haven't seen before, that we could relate to, people of color. And it's so sad that they had to succumb to an invisible killer, really. And it's so sad that we have to watch an individual deteriorate because of something that he has no control of. It's so sad, and my heart goes out to his family and the cancer community at large, people that have suffered with cancer, people that have had family members that have suffered with cancer, because they're suffering with them as well. It's important that you know that we have to continue to fight the disease. We have to continue to find solutions and continue to support science in order to find affordable, viable treatments for people that can't afford cancer treatment. And then we've lost a young man, a beautiful soul, Nathaniel Julius from El Dorado Park, that was shot and killed by a visible killer that he would have pictured as a superhero. I mean, when you grow up and when you look at a police officer in uniform that is approaching you, all you think about is safety. You don't think about someone coming to take your life. And I can relate to Nathaniel, because we have colleagues and friends that have a daughter that's 18 years old and suffers with Down syndrome. I call her my cherry. And when Lindsay is close to us, she's so full of joy, and she's just a bundle of happiness. And she just exudes peace and joy and smiles and laughter to everybody that is around her, and she loves to sing. So I can just imagine what Nathaniel must have went through when he saw this officer approaching him in his innocent, peaceful, joyful mind, and then he was taken advantage of. It's so sad that we have to live in these times, that we watch people being taken from us, and we cannot control it. We cannot do anything about it. And this is my thought pattern behind it. I mean, I'm sitting here in Reiger Park, a predominantly colored community. I'm from Indian ethnicity, born in Chatsworth, South Africa, KZN Natal, Durban. And my queen, who I will be married to for 14 years next month. The church that we got married to is just in front of me, and she's of colored descent and colored ethnicity, and that makes my children colorful, I guess. We don't stigmatize them by a race group, or we don't associate ourselves as a family by a particular race group, although we can relate to as many race groups that we have in our world. And it's important that you understand that being here in Reiger Park for the past 15 years, It's been an experience that I want to share with you. Many people, many South Africans, the interpretation of a colored community is fear. Don't go into there. You're gonna go in, you're not gonna come out. You're gonna die. That's the plain fact. And there's major falseness in that. When I came into Reiger Park 15 years ago, the first thing that came through to my mind was, I will walk to the shadow of the valley of death and I will fear no evil. Let me tell you something. For the past 15 years that I've been here, I've seen death. I've seen death like everywhere in the world. Death. And yes, some of them have been violent, very violent. But I've never seen any shadow. Not a shadow. All I saw was love. All I get is love. Not once was I in any way tried to be taken advantage of or violated, or was in any way in fear. My family, my wife and my kids frequent Reiger Park, and they never have an ounce of fear in them. It's sad that so many communities out there have been stigmatized because of the degradation that they are in. Now let me share with you. I grew up in Mzinto. I was born in Chatsworth, raised in Mzinto, a community where it was multiracial. Listen, I had my colored brothers next to me that we were eating out of the same plate in Auntie Rita's house and Uncle Norman's house. So you can't tell me about the difference in race groups. We're all the same. We all function the same. We all just do it differently. And we just call it different names and a different process. But it's exactly the same thing. People outside of these kind of neighborhoods, like Mzinto, like Reiger Park, like El Dorado Park, where we have been put in because of segregation from the past. And although we are free, we are still not free in these communities. I left Mzinto to come up to Joburg in 2000. When I left Mzinto, my immediate neighbors had no electricity. My immediate neighbors were still living in wooden iron houses. 2000. Now, 20 years later, nothing has changed in that area. There is no transformation in terms of infrastructure. When I was in school in the 80s and in the 90s in Mzinto, there was no sporting facilities. We had to utilize facilities of families and friends that we knew from school that were kind enough to share their swimming pools and tennis courts with us, because they knew we had a passion for sport, and they were willing and able to share that with us. Those people that we played tennis at their places that afforded us the opportunity, thank you. You had a heart of gold to share that with boys that had not much. And nothing has changed since then. I don't know that there's a sporting facility in Mzinto that is well maintained. I know there's a municipal ground where we had all our functions and all our annual events because it was the biggest spot. The same thing happens here in Reiger Park. Nothing has changed. I've been here for 15 years. It's still the same. There's no upliftment. There's no progress. There's no infrastructure that is being created to be able to change the next generation, to uplift them. What is going on? Why is this? Why do we have to have the stigmatism about these areas that the people that live in the suburbs basically have that fear in them to come here? Why?